Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah-Jayne and today I'm going to be talking about all the things about pregnancy and postnatal that people don't tell you about. Now, I've seen a few videos on this and I really just feel that they're not getting down to the nitty-gritty. So today, that is exactly what I'm going to do. If you are a little bit prudish, then probably this video isn't for you. However, if you are expecting a baby or have just had a baby, then please keep on watching, even though you might find things a little bit embarrassing. It is stuff that I feel that you have to know. If you are new around here, then as I say, my name is Sarah-Jayne. I have a 16-week-old baby girl, so I have just been through all of this myself. I make videos on things like general lifestyle and motherhood, so if you like that kind of thing, then please click the subscribe button. I'd love to have you around. So let's get into this. Now, some of these things are things that I've experienced personally, and other things are things that people have told me. I actually asked a question in my Facebook lifestyle group, and these are some of the things that they came up with that confirmed they were the same as me, and also some extra ones as well. So let's just get stuck straight in. Mum shade. When you first announce that you're pregnant, or you're visibly pregnant, or have just had a baby, you will get opinions from everybody, and sometimes these opinions aren't so nice. I like to call this mum shading, and it's not a term that I've taken on myself. I think it's a fairly popular term, but it's not very nice and you are going to get it. It can be quite upsetting at first, but believe me, you will gradually build a thicker skin and you'll be able to shrug those comments off. Piles. I'm talking hemorrhoids. I'm talking it looks like you've got a load of grapes coming out your bottom. I told you this wasn't going to be pretty. When you have a baby growing inside of you, it's a lot of pressure down below. So you can get piles either when you're pregnant or even after you've had the baby, just from the sheer force of having a baby. Don't worry, this is a really common thing. They can be there for a while after you've had your baby. Don't be embarrassed by it. Go and get yourself some cream. Stand up. At some point, you are going to have to stand up for the first time after having your baby. And believe me, you will probably feel like your whole entire contents of your body is about to fall out through your bits. Please don't worry, it will feel strange, but they will not fall out. Embarrassment. When you have a baby, 101 people will see your bits. I think it's something that a lot of people worry about before they have a baby. It's definitely something I was worried about, but when you are in that moment, you are so focused on other things, you won't even care. Iron tablets. You may have to have iron tablets after you've had a baby if you've lost a lot of blood. These iron tablets are just to get your body back to normal, but they can have a really strange effect on your bowels. So do not panic if your bowels start looking a really dark green, almost black colour. That is the iron tablets. Boobs. If you are breastfeeding, then you might get split nipples, bleeding nipples, cracked nipples. I'm talking cracks in your nipples so big that the milk actually spurts out your nipple. Yes, that can happen. Make sure that you are using some kind of nipple barrier cream right from the very beginning. You don't want to put too much on, but you also don't want to put so little on that you are still getting the cracked and sore nipples. Having a wee. After having a baby, you are going to be incredibly sore down below, and often when people go to the toilet for a wee, it can be really, really stingy. So a good tip is to take some water in a small water bottle, and as you're having a wee, pour it on yourself, and it just helps to take away that sting. Going for a poo. On the same subject as going to the toilet, you'll probably be terrified of having your first poo after you've had a baby. You will probably feel like all of your intestines and all of your body's contents is going to come out through your bits. But again, don't worry, take it slow, you'll be fine. Emotions. You are going to experience so many emotions when you've just had a baby. You'll probably find yourself going from happy to sad just like that. Again, don't worry, it's absolutely normal. They usually say that you're hit with the baby blues around day 3 because your adrenaline kind of takes you through the first couple of days, and then you have a downward spike on day 3. So you might find yourself a bit emotional and crying for no reason. That is absolutely normal, but please remember, if you feel that it's going on for far too long and it's really taking its toll on you, talk to somebody, because you want to nip it in the bud before it turns into something like postnatal depression. 2 weeks. For those first 2 weeks after having a baby, they will probably be a whirlwind of things. You'll be tired, you'll be drained, you will be immensely happy that you've had this baby, but there is a lot going on in that 2 weeks. Give yourself a break. Stay in your pajamas for as long as you can and just take it day by day. Breastfeeding. Breastfeeding can be enormously emotionally draining. You can prepare for the sore nipples, you can be prepared to be feeding them every 2 to 3 hours. But one thing that can hit new mums really hard is the fact that it's really emotionally draining, especially if you are having trouble with breastfeeding. It might be painful. And if it is painful, trust me, it is normal if you are dreading your baby crying because they are hungry. We all know you love your baby, but it is painful and those thoughts do go through mothers' minds. I think people do put a lot of pressure on themselves to breastfeed. I personally did. I did it for 3.5 weeks and then moved over to formula feeding. Don't worry if that has to happen. The most important thing is that your baby is fed, and fed is best, guys. After pains. Once you've had the baby, you can get after pains, which is contractions of your stomach going back into place. And I have heard that after pains with subsequent children can be worse than the last one. Don't freak out, it is quite normal. Jelly belly. Your belly will probably feel like jelly, didn't mean that to rhyme at all, for a good few weeks, if not months after you've had your baby. My stomach still feels like if I press it, my finger is going to go to the back of my body. But particularly in those first few weeks, it's so super soft and it's a very bizarre sensation. Your belly can be really tender in those first couple of days, but it does get better in time. C-sections. I personally didn't experience this, but a lot of people have told me that it can be quite an emotional time and quite a bizarre time to have a C-section, because one minute you are pregnant, the next minute the baby is there without having to go through pushing the baby out physically. So it can take a while for the mind to adjust to the fact that your baby has gone from inside your stomach to outside. So don't worry if you don't feel that instant bond or connection with your baby. Give it time and it will come in time. So there are my pregnancy and postnatal taboos, things that people don't really talk about. I really hope that it has helped you and maybe prepared you a little bit for the birth of your child. If it did, make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below if there are other things that you don't think I've mentioned and you want to talk about. I'm sure other people reading would be really happy to hear them. But thanks so much for watching, guys, and I shall see you again in my next video. Bye!